to put this package together, and I just think it has a super amount of potential, so I'm very, very excited about it. So thank you for joining us this afternoon. I mentioned to our pre-planning team here just a few minutes ago, I realize the NCAA basketball tournament is going on right now, so for those of you who have joined us, we really appreciate you taking you away from your screen for a good half hour of something I think you'll find to be very interesting. So I'll go over the agenda just briefly. Today we're going to first we'll talk about TBB and what it's all about. I'll give you an overview of our strategy and our strategic alliance with Fifoil Corporation. We'll introduce Fifoil executives. Then we'll give an overview of the TB market. Then we'll talk key product advantages and opportunities with the new TBB system, get into pricing and logistics, and follow up with next steps and questions and answers. Hey, this is something, again, we've been working on for a year. It's called thermal barrier blankets. TBB is the acronym we came up with, and we're hopeful that over the course of the next year that everybody's talking TBB and they know immediately what it is, and that's what it'll be referred to going forward. This represents a partnership between Icynene and Fifoil Corporation out of Auburndale, Florida, and again, something we've been working on for the past year. Both companies have been working on this and put together a pretty nice package, and basically it represents the latest technology in alternative thermal barriers, and I'll talk more about alternative thermal barriers in a minute. On the line with us, we have Bill Lippy, who's the president and CEO of Fifoil Corporation, and Michael Hayes, who's the VP of Sales. And I'll just ask Bill to come on, and Michael, if you want to chime in, just say a few words about Fifoil and just give us a little bit of background on Fifoil Corporation.
Thanks, Brian. This is Bill Lippy, and we really appreciate being here today on the webinar and everyone attending. Just a brief couple of seconds about Fifoil Company. We've been around about 30 years. We are a manufacturer and distributor of reflective insulation, radiant barriers, and systems that incorporate those products. We're just in general, we're very excited about this strategic alliance with Icynene. We were very impressed with the Global Dealer Conference and being introduced there. It was very exciting for us. Anyway, we just in short, we really look forward to the full kickoff of this, and for the next year getting this into the marketplace and some success stories. So thank you again for having us.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. Mike, I didn't know if you had any comments.
Yeah, Brian, thank you, and thank you to all of you folks that are out there on the webinar today. My name is Michael Hayes. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Fifoil Company. I've been with Fifoil since December of 2013, so almost a year and a half now. But I do have approximately 25 years background in insulation products. I will be your main contact, and my contact information is on the screen. And so please feel free after this or even during, if you have some questions, you want to shoot me an email or what have you. But I'm very excited to be a part of this system with Icynene, and I really look forward to meeting all of you and more importantly, getting out there in the field with you and talking to the dealers and promoting this product. So I'm excited to be on board, and I appreciate Icynene for having us today, and I look forward to meeting you guys.
Thank you very much, Mike. And I put Michael's email address there so you can write that down, and also his cell number as a main point of contact with Fifoil going forward for technical or pricing assistant or just general logistics questions. So make sure you write that down. Okay, just a little bit of background on the thermal barrier market. There's really two classifications of thermal barriers. One being a prescriptive thermal barrier, which really would apply for all spray foam insulation products. And an example of that would be, you know, gypsum wallboard, where you see wallboard, and it's something you can use with anybody's foam. It's by far the most common, prescriptive thermal barrier that's out there in the market. But there's obviously some drawbacks to going that way with gypsum wallboard. So other products have come on the market, with new technology in recent years, and a new category called alternative thermal barriers has emerged. And an alternative thermal barrier is where a test is required for each individual product. It can't just be a product family within a manufacturer. It would have to be a specific product with a specific chemistry. And an example of that would be an intumescent coating, and a lot of people are familiar with the DC315 product made by International Fireproof Technologies. So the thing to point out with the alternative thermal barriers is that the testing is required for each individual product. And I wasn't sure if everyone was aware of that, but I wanted to make you aware of that. An example of a spray-on coating, as I mentioned before, would be it could be cellulose insulation, it could be a cementitious coating, or it could be the intumescent paint. Okay, so here it is, TBB, Thermal Barrier Blanket, and boy are we excited about this. I just think the potential is enormous. And it's approved for Icynene's open cell spray foam. It's approved as a thermal barrier, officially a thermal barrier per NFPA 286. And some of the other things that are exciting about this product is the sound absorption. When we started getting involved with this, this product kind of evolved. Initially, it was an unperforated product, and I had asked the team at Fifoil if they could perforate it. My thought process was, gosh, if you can perforate that, we run an NRC test on it, let's see what we get. So we ran an NRC test up at NGC Testing up in Buffalo, which is an arm of National Gypsum Company, and we developed a 40 NRC. So, you know, a 40 is a decent NRC. Just to give you an example for comparison purposes, a 2x4 lay-in ceiling panel, mineral fiber ceiling panel, would have like a 50 or 55 at max NRC, typical around 50. So we're close, and that 10% difference the human ear really can't hear. So 40% is on, you know, it's on the lower end of sound absorption, but it's commercial grade, and it's an added benefit to the product. So we've got two finishes, white and aluminum. It's micro-perforated, and it's very easy and simple to install with clip and components and tape, and Michael will talk a little bit about that. And additionally, it's also very economical and efficient. So this product can be used in commercial, industrial, or institutional applications. Some of the key advantages, it's an aesthetic upgrade over spray-on coatings, and I'll give you an example. When you see open cell spray foam sprayed underneath the side of underneath of a roof deck, it's as you know, with the way it expands, it's lumpy, and aesthetically it isn't the greatest thing in the world to look at. And even when you put the coating on it, if you put a white intumescent coating on it, it doesn't really dress it up that well. So here we've come along with a foil-faced blanket that definitely adds and gives you an aesthetic look versus the crude look of spray foam with a coating on it. The other neat thing is there's no mess during the installation. It rolls on and clips, and you don't have dripping or, you know, big cleanup afterwards. It's a simple pin and clip application, which Michael will talk about. And I mentioned before, I already covered this, the acoustical performance being a 40, and compared to 2x4 conventional, if you use Armstrong's Cortega ceiling panels as an example of 50 NRC, so it's real close, and it's something that I felt, my background is 20 years. I had 20 years in the ceiling tile industry and interior products, and I felt like when I saw this, there's a lot of potential for this product out there that maybe others don't realize. The components, it's a simple system. It will come in a package, and Michael, I'll let you step in here and talk a little bit about the components and how they go together.
Sure, Brian. Thank you. Yeah. So as Brian was saying, this is it's a really easy system to install, and I know why. I can tell you for example, it's easy because I actually installed this in our warehouse this week. So if you know, if a sales guy can do it, I know these highly qualified installer dealers that Icynene's been dealing with for a long time can certainly do it. As Brian mentioned, it is a clip and pin. We have a patented clip and pin system. And I'll tell you, the installation process, and this clip and pin process, is not new to Fifoil or the industry. We use this particular system, not the TBB blanket, of course, but with another product. We've used this in the market for over 15 years now with our RetroShield system. So, in fact, I'm sure there's several of the Icynene dealers are both familiar with FIFO and familiar with that RetroShield system. So it won't be new to them in terms of how they would use the clip and pin. But looking at the picture on the left-hand side, we've got several different types to fit all types of metal buildings. So we've got clip and pin that's going to fit a Z purlin, a C channel, even like bar joist or beam. It'll have a color-coded locking washer, which is nice. And then it'll have color-coding tape that you'll tape the seams on the overlap. So if you look at the picture on the right-hand side, there's an illustration there that shows in between the purlins, where the clip will clip on the bottom side of the purling. There's a pin, an integrated pin already on the clip. And so then what they'll do is they'll take the product, and the product comes in 66-inch wide rolls and 76-inch wide rolls. Purlins are going to run 5 foot on center. Popular one. They'll push that product or impale that product through the pin, and then they'll use that color-coded lock and washer in place. When they come on the overside, like as I said before, they'll have an overlap.
Michael?
Yes.
We're losing you.
Yeah, it's kind of fading in and out. Yeah. So
That's coming from. I hear the crackling, but I'm not sure where that's coming from.
okay.
Will be color-coded to match either the white or the aluminum facing, and you will tape those seams. So the system will include 5 rolls of material and a box of clips, pins, washers, and a roll of tape, and you'll have 625 square foot of coverage with that, with the 5 rolls in the box.
Okay. Great.
Hey, can I add something there, Brian?
Yes, of course, Bill. Yeah.
So there are a couple little things. That would be the basic system. There's a clip that's not shown there that would be for wood rafters, if you will. Sometimes, especially in California, you see that a lot. You see open wood beams. Think of it like it's shaped like in a U. It's got some. You basically just push this claw clip on, if you will, and it grabs onto the beam, and then you can just go through the same process. The dealer will have to inform us of something, and that is if they're going to overfill the cavity so that the foam is going to come below the rafters or below the purlins, then we'll need to know that, and we'll then choose a longer pin length so that if we can, and in that case, they would put the clip on first with the longer pin, spray the foam, and then impale the insulation on there. What's going to happen in a lot of cases is they'll have a cavity, let's say 8 inches deep, and maybe they spray 5 inches of foam in there, and so in that case they can put the clip on after the application of the foam. So it's pretty simple that and something we'll be involved with them, on the job site on the first install in probably all cases. So but just something to keep in mind.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, and I want to just pick up on what Bill and Mike had said, is that one of the things that our dealers can be comfortable with this system is that they will have excellent technical support from FIFOIL Corporation with this new system. So I think with everything it does and with the kind of technical support that FIFOIL can provide, it's going to be a very successful product. Okay, some of the key market opportunities would be the underside of a roof deck, for exposed application where aesthetics matter. I talked about that before, about the current appearance of open cell foam. It could also be used in applications where modest to moderate sound absorption is required, and also in metal buildings. I mean, the metal building market is a huge opportunity as an alternative to fiberglass, the final phase fiberglass, and there's a lot of static there. I apologize for that, guys, but I don't know what the answer is. anyway, the metal building market is a huge opportunity going forward. So, okay. All right, we'll try to deal with this background noise and get through this.
Brian, can you
Yes.
can you call in instead of using the mic in your laptop?
Give me the number. I'll call in right now. Sorry.
Laura will provide you.
Okay. All right. In the meantime, I'm going to go through this. Just keep talking. Here's a school application. And just so you can see, that's the Retro Shield product that's installed there, but you can see how clean and good it looks. And here's another application in an auto center. And here's another one where, you know, it just shows how it works with the bar joints. So nice, clean look, definitely better appearance than open cell foam. Plus, you throw in the sound absorption, and you've got a real winner here for a thermal barrier. Some of the important details. Let's go through this list, and please take note of this. TBB is approved only for Icynene Classic and Classic Max light density open cell foam. Okay, it's not approved at this time for any of our closed cell products. So that's important to know, and keep that in consideration. The other thing is it's not approved for any competitor foams. The arrangement between Icynene and 5-foil is exclusive, and so this product is only available to Icynene dealers, the people who are in our dealer network. They are the only ones that can purchase the product and install it. Okay, it ships factory direct from 5-foil in Florida to the Icynene dealer network. It's not something Icynene is taking and bringing into stock and then reshipping under our invoice. It's all going to ship factory direct. The transaction will take place between 5-foil and the Icynene dealer. Technical inquiries, just direct to 5-foil's 800 number, which you've got listed here, 800-448-3401. As I mentioned before, it's sold directly by 5-foil to our dealers. Basically, what Icynene is going to do is market the product. We're going to put our marketing muscle and our sales team's muscle behind promoting the product, and 5-foil will sell it directly. That way, we can be as efficient as possible. And then for our own people internally here, just so you know, it is now part of the Icynene sales compensation package. The specific details of that you would need to talk to your regional sales director about. So some of our next steps, sample, literature, and price sheets will be sent out to all the TMs and independent reps next week. We're going to have 2 separate dealer webinars to be scheduled March 30th, and we will have an announcement coming out early next week with the exact dates and time. And make it an effort, I strongly suggest, to get acquainted with 5-foil's Michael Hayes. Michael could be a great asset to you going forward in promoting his product. So that pretty much wraps up the webinar in terms of what we have to say. We can take questions now. If you want to send your questions into it, we'd be happy to try to answer them. And again, I apologize for the static. I don't know what's causing it.
Brian, if I could step in for a moment.
Yes,
Brian,
that's
can you
fine,
hear
Mike.
me?
Yep. Yes. Yes, Mike. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know, just to kind of reiterate what you were saying about the product being sold directly to the Icynene dealers, not through Icynene. So that's an important piece to know, that we will already have some built-in relationships with some of those dealers. They may already have credit terms with us. So we want to make sure that as we're going down the avenue of potentially selling a project, so there's no delays, we want to make sure that the dealer is in fact set up with 5-foil, and if not, let's go ahead and get them set up right away so that when they're ready to pull the trigger, we want to make sure that we're servicing them the way that they would expect to be serviced. So just a note for you guys when you're in front of your dealers asking those questions.
Okay. Okay.
We do have a question.
Uh-huh. Boy, the static's gone.
Yes, thank goodness.
When will spec sheets and approval letters from Icynene be available from Matt Capshaw?
We can get all of that out over the next week. I mean, it's as far as integrating it into the ESR, that's something that takes a little time, obviously. But The spec sheets will include all of the technical data that should be required. If somebody's questioning it, we can back it up with a letter to the architect. I mean, whatever's needed. So, no problem there. Over the next week, Mike and his team are going to start sending out packages to everyone, with samples and literature and everything else.
Yeah, on that. Go ahead, Bill.
If I may add something too, Michael and Brian, that we will have a web page too that will have this information on it for easy download. That's currently being worked on right now. It'll have to go through a little bit of a process for Icynene to approve it. We've kind of got some cross approvals on those before we publish anything. But it should be pretty simple. It'll follow kind of what we currently do: a brief description and then some video, copy of the spec sheets, and then when the ESR report's available. And I talked to John Evans and Paul Duffy at the Global Conference, and they're preparing to file that very shortly. So along with some other changes within your reports. So it should be quick on that. The end will become available quicker. But should we run into a need without the ESR, then we can, there's ways to get around that with showing the test report and the engineering evaluation that was written for it as well. So, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, I was just going to say on the next steps slide that you see at that top bullet point, samples, literature, and price sheets. I know that you guys are going to want some collateral in your hands right away because that'll help. Obviously, you guys promote it and talk about the product. We are in the process now of just getting final approval from Icynene with our spec sheets, install sheets, and brochure, and that should happen here within the next couple of days. And then we're going to go to print with all of that information, and then I'll be able to get sample packets out to you, which will include a spec sheet, literature, spec sheet, install sheet, and a brochure, along with a sample of the material. What I would ask you guys to do, and you saw my email up there, if you would just shoot me an email and let me know, kind of give me an idea if you need 5 or 10 or whatever. But we're in the process, like I said, we'll be in the process starting next week of making a bunch of these packets. If you were in Cancun, you saw the packet that I'm talking about. Otherwise, if not, it's a nice little presentation that you can hand to one of your contractors. You can hand to an architect. So again, I know in sales we want to get as much information in our hands to present to our customers as we can. So we're being very proactive to get that done for you guys just as soon as possible. As far as price sheets, I'll be putting together a final price list for the product and the clips and the whole system, and I'll have that completed next week, and I'll be able to get that out to you guys as well.
Yeah, one of the things I just wanted to just reinforce is the fact that this system is only available to Icynene dealers, the dealers that support our company and our network, and we in turn support them with programs like this. So it would obviously be very wise and strategic with every opportunity on a project that you're working on with an architect to promote this as a thermal barrier, because if it ends up getting specified, there's really, it's something that I think you'll see the rewards for your efforts on. So anyway, that's just a word to the wise. We did an AIA presentation yesterday before an architect engineering group, and they were quite intrigued with the product and had never seen anything like it. So I think there's a lot of potential out there, and this is just one more thing that we can do to add some value to what we bring to our dealer network and get the support of our dealers in promoting this product. So, Adina, is there any more questions?
Yes, we have a few more.
Okay.
One from Pete Steinwert. Any plans for approval with CC?
Okay, with closed cell, that would be something that would come down the road, and I don't know, Bill, if you want to chime in on that, or is something that you guys would look at, or go ahead and speak freely.
Yeah, again, it's good, Lippy. We're definitely going to look into that. We're definitely going to be lining up some testing. I don't have a date yet, but that's probably the next thing on our, and that, that'll be Paul and I and John coordinating that, and, I would say over the next quarter we'll be firing that up. So.
Yeah, it's we had a lot of questions on that down in Cancun, and when I first got started with Bill and Michael, I had brought this up about, immediately people are going to ask about the closed cell, and basically one step at a time here. It was definitely easier to pass the test with the open cell. We feel confident that actually the engineers have already looked at it, that we can do this with the closed cell, but it's there's a little bit more involved to it. So a little bit of work to be done there. Initially we have the open cell, but yeah, closed cell is definitely, Pete, on the radar. Okay, next question.
Timetable for closed cell approvals is what Phil was asking.
Yeah, same. Did you say Phil was asking that, Phil Brown?
Yeah. But
okay. Yeah, I think I just answered that. That's something that's high on the priority list at FIFOIL to take a look at. So.
Okay, the next question, Matt Capshaw, also info for architect firms when doing AIA presentations.
Yeah, this would be included in the package. The information that they're going to be sent will be, technical documents and something that they can use and submit to an architect for approval. So that'll all be part of the package that, Matt, that you get that's sent directly from FIFOIL to you guys over the next week.
Brian, haven't you incorporated that couple slides already into the AIA presentation?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have, Bill. We have 4 presentations, and we put it in. We added this slide to the most recent presentation where we talk about thermal barriers. So, if anyone on our team out there looks at the most recent Icynene presentation released on open cell spray foam for commercial buildings, there is a slide in there that that references thermal barrier blankets as a new addition, in addition to intumescent coatings and prescriptive thermal barriers. So it's in there, but because it's in the AIA presentation, we did not get specific calling out TBB or anything like that. But we make mention of it, and now at the end of the presentation, when the presentation ends and we can officially talk about Icynene-related products, that would be the ideal time to bring it up. Hey, check this out, look at this, which is what we did yesterday with the architect meeting in New York. Next question, Adina?
We don't have any more questions.
Okay.
But Brian, I was just going to say, if you'd like to add this to the live binder, we can do that as well.
Yeah, we will definitely add this product to the live binder. And what I would like to do, Adina, is I don't know if you recorded this session, but this might be something. Yeah, this might be something that people can reference internally in the phone booth to, where our people can access it. Icynene people can access it and go over it and review it if they missed the webinar. So, okay, we'll add it to the live binder. Everybody, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this afternoon. We really appreciate it. I'm personally very, very excited about this product. I mean, I've been looking at this for a year, and it's so great to see where it started and where it is now. And I'm just getting to know the people at FIFOIL. They're fine. Bill and Michael are fine people, and I know this is going to be a great partnership going forward with some great results for our company. So thank you for attending. And any questions beyond this, you can either email me or Michael. And good selling, everybody, and have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.